What about now? Is my audio all right now? Is there audio? God, I've been talking for 7 minutes. I've been talking for 7 minutes without audio. Is my audio all right now? Okay. I've got to start again. So, okay, it facts I. Thank you, Ace Adventura, for that. So I was talking for 7 minutes without any kind of audio. Now, okay, so 8facts has posted his wildcard team in the chat. So Pickford and Nyland. So I don't think there's any problem with Pickford. And as long as Pickford plays, I don't think Nyland is needed. And I'm pretty sure Aston Villa is now Martinez, so Nyland won't be playing. But Nyland did play in that midweek game after the first game week. So, but I'm pretty sure that Martinez will be the first keeper, and Pickford is not that bad of a choice looking at the upcoming fixtures they have. And looking at now the defense line, Jamal Lewis, Cash, Justin. I don't even know who the Cash is. Justin is all right, but after fourth game week, I don't think he will be playing. And Mitchell, Sturgic, okay. Game week 2, 3, 5 to Pickford, Lewis, Bruno captain, Sterling, Salah, Marshall, Lacazette, South Nyland, Mitchell. The team looks pretty decent. I don't think there's any kind of problem. I think Newcastle have pretty difficult fixtures coming up, in my opinion. I have to see. For that 4.5 million price range, I think the team that people probably look for, the defender that people probably look for are like, it's either like Walker. Let me look at Lewis. So yeah, after the Brighton game, Newcastle faced Tottenham away, Burnley home. We don't know how Burnley will start the game. It's still the first game, and we have to see how the fitness plays a part in that. And one of the reasons I did not go for Man United players was that because it's their very first game, and I was surprised by how Crystal Palace defended against Southampton. So I'll have to see how the fitness plays part in coming into the first game week. And Lewis has pretty tough fixtures coming up. But as an individual, he did play very good game week in the first one against West Ham. So I don't think there's any kind of problem with that. Lewis, Cash, Marshall, Lacazette, okay. My only problem in that wildcard team is I think you don't have any Wolves players because just so you know, after second game week, they have very good fixtures. Let me show you. So I think if you are wildcarding now, you might want to, I'll talk about a wildcard team. I had one of the wildcard that I got in my Instagram account. I'll show you that wildcard team in a moment. But if you are wildcarding, I think it's a high time you pick Everton and Wolves players because they have pretty good fixtures, and Everton are in good form. As looking at the first game week, I don't know if they will continue that. We'll have to see. But I think if you are using a wildcard, you might want to include at least one or two Everton and Wolves player in your team. So I don't see any. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is, if you are, this is one of the, I think people are rushing into wild card because of their bad first game week. I think, and I have no problem with early wild cards. I think it's pretty good if it works out, if it favors you. But yeah, if you are going for it, you have to look for a longer term option if you are using wild card because this is not a free hit. So looking at the fixtures, the two teams that you need to have players of are Everton and Wolves. So yeah, 8facts. I like to suggest you to get some Wolves and Everton players in your team because in that Everton and Wolves team, I think there are so cheap players with good values. They're like Podence, Neto, and now I don't know if they're nailed on. We'll have to see. We'll have to see that after the game weeks. But yeah, I think you can have that. I'll show you one of the wildcard team as we are discussing. this was one of the wildcard team that I got in my Instagram account. Davis Shrestha says James or James. Okay, James or Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin. Cheaper, nailed on, center forward. Everything should go through him. I think Calvert-Lewin. Yes. Can you see the wildcard team? This is one of the wildcard team that I got. You can see that, right? So yeah, I think this was a pretty balanced team, in my opinion. I'll zoom that in. So you can see this, right? The wildcard team. So the first reaction after looking at this team was, where are the Wolves players? There are no Wolves players. And I looked at the bench, and there were two of them. So, and there are two Everton players too. So I think this is a pretty balanced team. There is no such thing as balanced team, but still, I mean, you need to look at the future for the upcoming game weeks, because one of the reasons I'm saving my transfer for this game week is because I'd want to bring in at least one Wolves player, or maybe even two, because their fixtures in upcoming games are very good, and I don't want to be the one left out not getting the points from them. So one of the reasons I did not get Man United player was because I want to see how they'll perform. It's the very first game, and Crystal Palace defended very good in the first game week, and I think fitness will play a part coming into the first game week. We'll have to see. No matter how the good team is, it will play a part coming into the first game week. And okay, yeah, 8 facts. Yeah, I'm getting Jimenez in for Lacazette game week 3. Okay, that's good one. That's good. Getting Lacazette, James, or maybe you can send in your team in the Instagram account. It's pretty difficult to read the team names in the chat. James or Calvert-Lewin. I said Calvert-Lewin, easy pick. It's a great team, but price of the phone, I can't get Willian or Bamford. I think if looking at that Leeds team, Willian is good for this game week, but after that, I don't think it is. I don't think it's a longer option. And my problem, as I said in my previous videos, I posted in the previous videos, my main problem with Willian is, yes, he's a set piece taker, and he is just 8 million. But my problem is, I think he will be rotated with the Pepe at some point. I'm pretty sure he will be rotated. I don't know when. I'm sure he will be rotated. And the other thing is, the upcoming fixtures after West Ham, it's pretty difficult for Arsenal team. So that was one of the turn-offs for me for not getting Willian in my team. For this game week, I think he's pretty decent scout. But after this, I don't think he will be one of the players I want to go for. Willian, Bamford, or DCL? DCL, of course. That's not even like a DCL. Go for DCL, 8 facts. This team looks good. Yeah, I thought this team was pretty good too. Because the main thing about this team is there's coverage of every team, and as I'm not a believer of that coverage thing, because as I said, you don't have to have a player from every top team. As long as you think your team is good enough for the upcoming game weeks, I don't think you need player from every team. But this team has players from every team. Like literally, they have there is player from Liverpool, there's player from Man City, there's player from Man United, there's player from Wolves, like Chelsea, everything. So my one of the complaint in this team was, you already have 5 million Pickford keeper, and you also have 4.5 million Martinez. So I think you can save 0.5 in that keeper, so you can use that money somewhere else. Because as long as Pickford plays, maybe you are rotating the keepers, I think. So yeah, it's your choice. So me personally, I think Pickford has pretty good fixtures coming up, and Martinez might get some save points. But still, I don't think, yeah, I don't know. That is one of the things I was looking at. And another thing is, Justin is not a permanent choice. He won't be playing, in my opinion, after the 4th game week. But after that, I think there will be goals coming from Bamford. Looking at that team, it reminds me of Germany, because there's no like talismanic figure in that Leeds team. It's like the team that plays. Anyone can score in that team. So yeah, that was one of the things in the Leeds team. So yeah, I think this is one of the wildcard team I liked, and I did want to show to you guys because I think many of you are using wildcard in the first game week. So yeah, I think I'll be taking this off now. So now, other question. This team, Great Streamer, are you from Nepal? Sushant Regmi. Yes, I'm from Nepal. Sushant. I say Calvert Lewin should be the captain in this team. What do you think? Okay. Now, in one of my video, in my previous video, the two captains I picked was one of the safest choice was Aubameyang. In my opinion, he's facing West Ham, who are not in great form, and they have so difficult fixtures coming up. West Ham, and I think they are having some kind of internal problems in their team. And one thing I would like to talk about is please subscribe to the channel because I only need 15 subscribers to get to 1.3K. So yeah, please subscribe if you are watching this. There is a meter up there if you can see. I only need 15, now 14. Okay, one of them have subscribed, I don't know. But I only need 14 of them to get to the 1.3K subscribers. So please, if you're watching this, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, as I was talking about the captainship, my captain easiest pick, I mean the safest pick is, in my opinion, Aubameyang. He did score, he's that talismanic figure in that team. My only problem with Aubameyang, as I said earlier, in the first game week was he was too wide for me. He was playing very wide for me, and I think I want to see him more center in the team. I do think there will be some points coming from him in the second game week. So my first choice, easy pick, is Aubameyang, and other player is from the Everton team. Maybe even Dina does not look that bad in my opinion. But that will be too punty. I think that kind of captainship works out only sometimes. So yeah, DCL is also not that bad of an option because in the first game week, that Leicester and West Brom game, everyone was complaining that Leicester was not good, but still they scored 3 and they still won the game. So one of the thing about why that happened was West Brom was even worse than Leicester because as I've said earlier that comparing the three teams that came up in the first the promoted teams in three of them, West Brom was the worst in all three. Leeds was pretty good. Fulham was not that bad either. So yeah, in my opinion, I think DCL is not that bad of an option. He could be a good differential pick. So yeah, you might want to go for that too. DCL is not that bad of a pick, but safest choice, it looks like Aubameyang, but we can't say anything about the FPL. So yeah, McCarthy, McCarthy or Ryan for this game week. So for this game week, let me look at the fixtures first. McCarthy was not that impressive in the first game. It looks like Brighton. Yep, it looks like Brighton will maybe keep the clean sheets. The thing about McCarthy was I was pretty sure he was going to concede in the first game week, but that was like the set and forget keeper for me in the first game week. So after that, I'm not expecting a lot from my keepers. But yeah, Sushant, I think Ryan would be a good choice if you are going for only this game week. Yeah, I think Ryan. Go for Ryan. I'm not very convinced with the performance, but I think they will be more defensive against Spurs than they were against Crystal Palace in the first game week. And I think Goita might be one of those breakthrough low-budget keepers this season, maybe, because of the performance he had. He was like a Superman in that first game week. He was saving everything. That was one of the reasons they kept that clean sheet. I was so surprised to see how Mitchell kept the clean sheet in that game. So yeah, Sushant Regmi, I would personally go with Ryan. So yeah, I could say that you're waiting for the Southampton Spurs match so bad. I'm not a Spurs fan. I'm not actually I'm a Liverpool support. I mean, I can say I'm a Liverpool supporter. I'm actually a Barcelona supporter, but I kind of was a big fan of Stevie G and Skirtle. So yeah, I kind of like Liverpool. My main reason for waiting for the Spurs and Southampton match is because both of the teams were the reason that I had so less point in the first game week. If they had performed well, I would have like so good points in the. I only had 67 points, by the way, in the first game week. This is my points, 67 points. This was my team, and now my problem is, I have only one transfer, but I don't know which player that I would want to take off in the first game week. I mean, after in the second game week, because I think Son and Ings were pretty good. They were not that bad. They were shooting, they were creating chances, but their teammates did not help. And the thing about Ings was, his headers, his shots, everything was saved by Goita. And looking at that game, I think Che Adams was pretty impressive too. He was making chances, he was shooting, he was faster. His body movement was good than Ings. So yeah, Che Adams did not look like that bad of a choice. But two players I was not impressed was Ward and Doherty. Doherty was nowhere to be seen in the second half, except for the first half. In the first half, I think he got one of the chance, but he could not convert that. Except for that, he was not that good. So yeah, Doherty might be the player that might leave my team after the second game week. We'll have to see how he will perform in the first one. And other problem with that team is Ward Prowess. Now I had Ward Prowess because of his set piece duties. He's only 6 million, and in the preseasons the penalties were shared by Ings and Ward Prowess. So let me see what will happen. We'll have to see how that works out. Yeah, that is the main reason I'm waiting for Southampton and Spurs game. The main reason is I want to see. I will definitely transfer out at least one Spurs and at least one Southampton player, because I need a place for Jimenez. And if Ings does not perform, it makes my job easier. I'll just remove Ings and bring in Jimenez. And yeah, we'll have to see. That is the main reason. I have 5 players from Spurs and Southampton combined. So I don't know which player is the one that I should get rid of, because it's just one game. So I'll have to see. So yeah, that is the main reason I'm waiting for Southampton and Spurs game. And now Susan requests to have Ryan versus William, plus he has a good 3 game weeks ahead of him. McCarthy has. If you have the choice, go for Ryan. Yeah. Surely with Jota having gone to Liverpool this morning, Podence is nailed on for Wolves. Yeah, I do think so. So and another question that I got a lot was Podence or Neto. So yeah, and I think if you watch that match, the left free kicks were taken by Neto. So I think that makes somewhat easier to decide which player I should go for. So yeah, I think if you are like in a dilemma, if you should go for Podence or Neto. So I think Neto has that set piece threat. He is the one taking the left corners, and right corners were being taken by Moutinho. So Podence and Neto, if I had to pick right now, looking at that first game week, I'd go for Neto because of that set piece duty. And I did not know that both of them were that pacey. They're pretty good. They both had pretty good pace in their team. So yeah. And one player I was looking at, 2 of the 6.5 players I was waiting for were Foden and Traore. But I did not like the position of Traore, the position he was playing in, because I think he's too far from attack. Like he's playing in the place of Doherty. Now that might change. That might be rotated with Podence. I don't know how that will work. But yeah, I do think Podence and Neto, 2 of them are the very good choice for that 5.5 price. So we'll have to see how that works out. For now, yeah. Rules Thiago Alcantara for Ward Prowse. But now, make it in game week 4 when Thiago is fit. Thus, now, I personally don't like to jump into new players that have just come into the Premier League, because the main thing is I don't know how they will adapt. That is one of the reasons I don't have any Chelsea players. There were so many changes in that Chelsea player, and I did not know how they will perform. They do have very good team on paper, as I've already said. They have very good looking team, but my concern was how will they play? And that is one of the reasons I did not have any Chelsea players. So now, after that one first game week, if the only player I'm looking for right now is Reece James. If Reece James is nailed on and Aspi won't take his minutes off of him, I think Reece James is one of the players I might bring in instead of Justin, because I think Justin won't be playing after Pereira returns because I think left back will be Costanza, and Costanza is a good choice too. I think he was in the box a lot for a defender being in that position. I think he's one of the players you might want to look at. So yeah, from that Chelsea team, you might want to keep an eye on Reece James after the Liverpool game. I think they got pretty good fixtures coming up. I'll have to see, but yeah, after the Liverpool game, I think you might want to keep an eye on Reece James. So what we were talking about. Thiago Alcantara. Yeah, so wait, 8 facts. I think you might want to wait on Thiago Alcantara. The other reason I'm saying this is in that midfield, there is still Minamino and Keita waiting to get their spot in that team. So we don't know how nailed on will Thiago Alcantara be, because there is still Fabinho, there is Henderson, there is Milner. So I'll want to wait. I think don't jump into Thiago Alcantara, because yeah, that's my opinion on Thiago. Thiago is a defensive midfielder, not a great. So we'll have to see where he will play. He might be playing in place of Fabinho. We'll have to see how that develops. So yeah, in my opinion, I would wait for Thiago. I think Minamino was pretty good in the preseason, but still he has not got any kind of chance. Still, he could be one of the assets as we go into other game weeks. I think Minamino is a pretty good for. I think he's only 6 or 6.5 million. For that price, in that Liverpool attacking side, I think there will be assist and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll have to wait. Thiago, Madrid Shumes. Hello, Madrid Shumes. What's your current OR rank? Are you asking about the rank? If you are asking about the rank, this is what it looks like right now. So are there any questions? If not, I'd like to talk about my team now. So I'll straightly get into it. I think I'd say Podence is ward prowess for your team. Yes. That is one of my mistake. I think I did not keep an eye on the Wolves players because of their opening first fixtures. I thought that Sheffield would still be pretty good, and after Sheffield, Wolves face Man City. So I did not want to take that risk. I thought there would be no goals and that stuff. So yeah, I think in the second game week, as I said, I'm sure I will bring at least one Wolves player. Now we'll have to see which Wolves player that will be. We'll have to see. And Ward Prowess was only because of the set piece duty. I had him, and he was in the England squad, so I thought he would be a good pick, but we'll have to see how that works out. Now I'll have to see their performance, Southampton versus Spurs in the second game week. So Aqua. So yeah, I think Podence is not that bad of a choice. So I'm saving my transfer, so I don't want to do anything rash. I still want to wait. I want to see which players are the ones that I need to get rid of. I'm not sure which players are the ones that I don't need in my team, because Spurs and Southampton they kind of cover most of the players in my team. Out of 11, 5 of them are from Spurs and Southampton, and they face each other this game week. So I think that will make my decision easier to see which players are the ones that I need to get rid of. If none of them perform good, I might even get rid of Doherty, Ings, anyone. If they don't perform, they are gone. So yeah, I think 2 game weeks are enough for them to prove themselves. So I think in the first game week, match fitness kind of played some kind of role in the Southampton and Spurs' performance. So we'll have to see how that works out. So I'll show you my team. So as I said, I did not change anything. This is what my team looks like right now. So I'll straightly get into it. So as I said, I won't change anything in my team. I'm going into second game week with the same team as I had in the first one. I think this is still a very decent team. In the last game week, Spurs and Southampton were the reason I only had 67 points. And the problem this game week also that 5 of my first 11 are going to face each other. And Ings and Son in the first game week were all right. Their performance was good, but there was no end product. And Doherty and Ward Prowse were average. They were all right. So we'll have to see how that works out. And I don't have problem with Justin, at least for now, because for 4.5, the point he returned is, I think, I'm very grateful for that because he's one of the players that saved my first game week. And yeah, and for now, I think home game against Burnley, I think it looks fine for Justin. He will be in my team. And considering it's Burnley first game, we'll have to see how fitness plays part in it because Burnley have not played any game, and we'll have to see how Pope will perform. So yeah, I think I'm okay with my team right now. I'm pretty satisfied. There are no injuries, and I think upcoming fixtures of most of my players are pretty good. So I don't think there's any chip or wildcard that I need to use for now. So okay, Ganja Singh, I have transferred in Greenwood for Ali. I don't mind for your view on this, please. I don't think that's bad because most of the FPL experts, I'm not an expert, I'm just an FPL enthusiast, but the ones like the big guys say, you only take hit if you think you want to captain that player. That is one of the things. What they are trying to say is you take hit if you think he will return you more than 4 points. The -4 that you lost on a player, are you sure that Greenwood will return that point? If you think so, I think it's not a bad choice. And there's this thing going about Greenwood that there's this question: will Greenwood start? And I don't see any kind of reason that he won't. I think he will start. I think he will be in that right wing. I don't think James will be the one who will be starting in that right wing. So Ali was not good at all in that first game week. And I think in the mid game week too, I don't know if he played or not. I just watched the scoreline and the position and stats and all that stuff. So yeah, I think it's all right. I think my problem with Crystal Palace and Man United this game week is how good, should I say, how good Crystal Palace was defensively. I think it was all-out defense, and it was the wingers that were doing counter-attacking, and they won 1-0. I think that will continue throughout the season for Crystal Palace. I think that is their goal. They will defend all game, and they will just pick 1-2 counter-attacks and win 1-0 and 2-0 and get the 3 points. That is what they will try for the entire game, entire season. Maybe for now, their defense line is still not that good because the 4 defenders that started against Southampton all of them were not the first defenders. Van Aanholt was injured, Sakho was injured, and Ferguson was injured, and Cahill, and all these first starting defenders were injured. So that was one of the reasons I think they were all-out defense. So that might continue against Man United. And another problem for me again with United is that United is playing the first game week, so I'll have to see how their fitness will be. So yeah, I don't think it's particularly that bad of an idea. You are saving 0.5, and yeah, I think it's not particularly that bad game week. He's playing at home, so Ganja Singh. So yeah, I don't think that is particularly disastrous move. I think that's a pretty good move. If it works out, I think it's a pretty good move, Ganja Singh. So yes, this is pretty much it. I won't be changing my team. So I have talked about my wildcard. If you are just joining, I was talking about one of the wildcard teams that I got in my Instagram DM. This was the team. I did talk about it. So if you are using wildcard, you might want to give a peek at it, and you might want to tell me how that looks. This is not my wildcard team. This is one of the team that I got in my Instagram. So yeah, I think a lot of people are using the wildcard in these early stages, and I don't have a problem with that. I did use it last season, and it did not work out for me at all. So I'm pretty convinced I won't be using anything right now. And I think I still have a decent team with me. So this team looks pretty decent to me too. Pickford does have the good fixtures coming up, and Walker Peters, I don't know, but for that 4.5 price, I don't think there is any other defender that you might want to go for. So Vinagra is not playing, I think, and Justin won't be playing after the 4th game week, in my opinion. After not 4th game week, but after Pereira returns, I don't think he will be the nailed-on option. And another thing is Robertson instead of Trent. So in the first game week, I did see that Robertson was not taking the corners. He was not taking the free kicks. I don't know why. I'd want to know about that. I'll have to see how the Chelsea and Liverpool game. If that trend continues, if Trent does not take the corners, I mean, if he's not active in that set pieces, I don't want him in my team. The only reason I spend more 0.5 more on Trent on than on Robertson was because of that set piece duty that Trent had. That was one of the main reason that made Trent more lethal. And I'm not keeping Trent if he does not take the set pieces. So yeah, he will be out. Maybe I'll get in Robertson. Maybe James. James is a pretty good shout, in my opinion. So going for Robertson over Trent does not look that bad of an idea, but he might punish you. I still remember last season, in one of the games, he was injured. So I took Trent off, and in the next game, he scored like 20, 21, 24 points. I had him all season and he did not do anything. He was injured once, and I took him off, and he scored 24 points. And yeah, that can happen. That did happen in the first game week. Salah scored a hat-trick. So yeah, this is pretty much. I don't think Robertson is a bad option going over Trent, because at the preseason, at the Community Shield, and in the first game week, Robertson looked more effective than Trent, and I don't think particularly Robertson is a bad choice. That there is that kind of hunger, in the Robertson that you need to see in a player. So I think it's all right to have Robertson in your team. He's cheaper. He looks better in that side, to be honest. If you look at the matches, I think Robertson is a good pick. There's no problem. And the thing about Coleman. Now, in last stream, one of our viewer asked about Coleman. So I think he's very underrated. Coleman is very underrated, and for his price, he's nailed on. He's the team captain for now, and I think Coleman is pretty good. I think as a winger and as the captain responsibility, I think Coleman is the one that you can save money from. I think he's only 5 or 5.5 million. I don't remember, but he's not that expensive for the fixture that Everton are coming up with and the form they are going on in the second game week. Looking at the first game week, I think that's not that bad of an option. So that backline looks pretty good to me. So I'm not very convinced about Walker Peters. Let's see how that pans out. For now, I think the backline does not, for the second game week, it looks all right. Although there might be some goals against Liverpool defense by Chelsea, because Liverpool don't look too good, in my opinion, defensively. So there might be goals. They're always attacking return for Robertson. So Madrid Sumis says, Robertson and TA are sharing set pieces in their respective sides. Maybe. Maybe. We'll have to see. Yes. Yeah. I think Van Dijk scored a header on Robertson's free kick from the left. Yeah, that might be it. Madrid Sumis. So yeah, that was still only one game week. So let's see what happens in the second one. If that continues, why not go for Robertson over Trent? I think that makes good sense to me, in my opinion. For that price range, I think bringing in Robertson for Trent wouldn't be an end of the world. So yeah. And now looking at the midfielders, now here he has gone with Rashford. So the Man United assets probably are Rashford, Fernandes, and Martial, and maybe one Bissaka too if you look defensively. I'm sure Shaw will be the one who will be starting in that left position. I'm not sure, and I don't think that Williams will be the one that will start. Although William did end as a left back of Man United last season in that European games and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure Shaw will be the one starting in that left back position. And I don't have any problem with that, having Rashford in the team. I don't think that Rashford is the captain, or maybe, I don't know. But yeah, Rashford is particularly not that bad of an option. I think he will be playing in the wide position. But as I've already said, Fernandes takes penalty, and a player with penalty has always an upper hand against the player that does not take a penalty in the Will Greenwood play game week 1? So yeah, Mr. Best. And I kind of looked some predicted lineups. I'm not sure. I looked at the predicted lineups, and according to those predicted lineups, Greenwood will start. He has to, because I don't see any reason he shouldn't. I don't think that sanction with that Foden and Greenwood case, I don't think that will be the reason he won't be playing in the first game week. But yeah, Mr. Best, one of the thing I do about if I have any kind of confusion like this, I Google the predicted lineups and I look at the predicted lineups from different media sites. So yeah, you might want to try that too. I did look at the predicted lineup of United against Crystal Palace. So and Greenwood was in the right midfield position. So yeah, Mr. Best, I think Greenwood will start today. I think so. He will start. What are they talking about? Yeah, Rashford. The Man United assets. So yeah, Marshall is not that bad of a choice playing in that centre forward and only 9 million. I think he's a steal because as I said, he's the top scorer of Man United last season, and he was the joint top assist provider in that last season, and he's only 9 million. And yeah, I don't think Marshall is particularly that bad of an option. But there are so many choices in the forward. That is one of the reason I did not want to go for Martial, because I want to get in Jimenez after the second game week. So Calvert-Lewin won't be going anywhere from my team. He will be there. Now I'll have to see how Ings will play against Spurs this game week. If Ings does not play good, I think he will be out of my team. He will be replaced by Jimenez. Yeah, as I've said in all of my videos this game week, every video I published, I have been recommending people to go for Everton and Wolves assets because they are very cheap for what they will provide. So yeah, I think you should be looking at that too. So Jesus will play till Aguero is back. Yes, I don't think there's anyone. Last season when there was no Aguero, I think Pep did not have any kind of choice. So he had to play Jesus, and most of the time he was not that effective. And I did see that Pep was substituting Jesus with Phil Foden. Even Phil Foden was playing as a centre forward. I could see that, but I don't think he will start there. So yeah, I think Jesus will play until Aguero returns. I think Aguero is still injured, but although after he's injured, his selection percent is 4%. I don't know who are selecting Aguero, but yeah, I think Jesus will play in that centre forward position. Is there any other option? I don't think so. If there is, please let me know in the chat, because I don't think there's anyone other who will be playing in the centre forward position in that Man City. I think Jesus will be pretty nailed on until Aguero returns. The problem with the Manchester side is the defenders. The depth is so big, so good. We have no idea who's going to change. Except for Ederson, I can't say anything about that Man City team. But Ibrahim, I do think Jesus will start. Jesus should be the one who will be playing in the first game week. And Infamous FPL says hi. Hello, Infamous FPL. And guys, please do subscribe. I only need 14 more subscribers for 1.3k. So yeah, only 14 subscribers. Please, if you are watching, please subscribe. I only need 14 more subscribers to get 1.3k. He once played Sterling there. Yeah, we don't know about Pep, but I'm pretty sure it will be Jesus who will be starting. It should be Jesus who should be starting. Ibrahim, if you want to get some kind of confirmation, you might want to look at the predicted lineups. That's what I do when I'm confused about the lineups, because nobody can tell who is going to play where, because we are not the managers, and there are some medias that put out the predicted lineups. So yeah, that is the closest we can get to the actual lineup of how the team might look before the game starts. So yeah, I think it should be Jesus according to me, but we can't say anything about Pep. Ibrahim, Infamous FPL, do you think to get rid of Salah on the wild card and bring in Sterling or KDB? Tough one. Sterling and do you think get rid of Salah? It's difficult to get rid of Salah though. I think I'd wait, because they faced. It's not bad. It's never a bad choice to bring in players like Salah and Sterling and KDB, because they can and will score against anyone. They will assist against anyone, because they are the big teams, and so it's not that bad of an idea to bring in Sterling or KDB. I think. Me personally, from that Man City team, if De Bruyne does not take penalty, because I'm pretty sure after Aguero returns, the penalty taker will be Aguero. If the one of the reasons that I lean towards De Bruyne was his penalty duties, and if he does not take the penalties, I think Sterling is a way better choice. The problem with Sterling is he will be rotated by Pep so much in that wings because they have got so many players in that wings, and De Bruyne won't be rotated. So Sterling, I don't think that is that bad of a choice in famous FPL. I think he's a good choice. Salah, but after the Arsenal game, I think Liverpool faced Aston Villa, and Aston Villa were not that good, but they have now signed Martinez, so that might change. I don't know. Keeper alone can change the game. We did see how Pope that Liverpool against Burnley in last season. Pope saved so many shots of Salah, so I think that might change. So after the Arsenal game against Arsenal also, it does not look like a bad choice. Arsenal were not that good defensively in the first game week. Fulham should have scored a couple of goals against Arsenal, but there was no one to score in that centre forward position. That is where they missed Mitrovic in that team. So yeah, I don't think that is particularly a bad idea in famous FPL. But after Arsenal, I think Salah has pretty good games coming up, so you might want to look at that. I'll bring Salah for Auba in game week 3. Okay, in game week 3, I think they face Arsenal. Liverpool face Arsenal. I think so. Yeah, you might. Now Auba will have tough games after a second game week. They will face Liverpool and so on. So yeah, there's many talks of Auba getting out and bringing in some Man City assets. So I don't think that is a bad idea in famous FPL. So yeah, bringing in players like Sterling, De Bruyne, and all those kind of big players is never a bad option. So yeah, Grealish or James Rodriguez? Of course, James Rodriguez. I don't think this should be even a question. We have not seen how Grealish will play, although that Grealish is a talismanic figure in that team. I think James Rodriguez did impress. I did look at the stats, and James Rodriguez created most chance. I think it was 5 or something. He was the only player to create 5 big chances or something like that. But it was a big stat about James. And if not looking at the stat and looking at the game, we could see how he was connecting with Richarlison. Because I think there is goal coming for Richarlison. Personally, I do think if I did not have DCL in my team, if I did not have Calvert-Lewin in my team, I'll remove this team for now. This is one of the wildcard. This is not my team. This is one of the wildcard team that I got in my Instagram account. So if you are wildcarding, if you need ideas, do look at this team, because I do think this is a balanced team. So yeah, I'll be removing this team for now. This is not my team. This is the okay. So this is my team for this game week. This is what it looks like. This is what my team looks like for now. Wow, what was I talking about? James Rodriguez, yes. So I think one of the players that people are not looking at, I think the Everton player that is being overlooked is Richarlison. Because I looked at the stats, and Richarlison had 7 shots. Only one of them was on target. But, I mean, he was pretty good because he was just not that clinical enough. But he was getting so many chances. So I feel like there are goals coming for Richarlison in upcoming game weeks. And he has good fixtures too. I don't remember the fixtures particularly, but I think there are good fixtures coming for the Everton team, and they connected very well. So yeah, except for Digne, James Rodriguez, and DCL, I think they are the pretty easy and obvious choice for the Everton team. I think you should be looking at the Everton players like Richarlison. He could be a good differential pick in my opinion. So yeah, Grealish or James Rodriguez, go for James Rodriguez. I think that's an easy choice. Looking at the fixtures, and Grealish has not played any game yet this season. He will play this game week, so I'll want to see. Sturdy Ghost, thank you for subscription. So okay, 13 more subscribers, please. 13 more subscribers for 1.3k. I just need 13 more to get to 1.3. So yeah, please subscribe if you are watching this. And yeah, never settle rider, go for James Rodriguez. Do you think it's worth taking a hit to bring in James Rodriguez for the Pereira? West Brom Pereira. Which West Brom facing? Everton. So the thing about Pereira was there was this hype Before the first game week, there was hype for players like Pereira, Saint Maximin, and there like Armstrong. There was so much hype for these players, but they did not show. They did not show any kind of glimpse that I need to have this player in my team. So Pereira for James Rodriguez hit. I think it does not sound that bad. Do it. I think do it. Yeah. It's not. It's not that bad. It's not a disastrous move, Judah. I don't think that's a disastrous move. James for Pereira does not sound that bad because I did not see anything from Pereira in the first game week against Leicester, although after all the hype. But still, it's still one game week. So we can't judge player based on one game week. We'll have to see how they will perform. But James for Pereira, I think that's not a bad choice. If you have the money for the hit, Judah. James has good fixtures coming up. He did perform very well in the first game. I think you should do it. Yep, do it. Judah, do it. I think if you want to do it, if you think that is a good choice, I think that is not bad option to bring in James for Pereira. I personally don't think because there are very good fixtures coming up for Everton. Even if he does not return point in this game, I think there is point coming for James in upcoming game weeks. So yeah, Judah, do it. Infamous FPL, thank you. You're welcome. And Sturdy goes, it is okay that I use my... it's of course, it's not that bad. As I showed my wildcard team, or not my wildcard team, but one of the wildcard team that I got in my Instagram that I liked. I think that was pretty decent team. Did you see it, Sturdy Ghost? Can I show you my team? Okay, but where? Maybe later in the Instagram, please, or maybe write in the chat box. I don't know. Well, anything convenient for you, Sturdy Ghost. But yeah, I did show one of my team in my screen before. So yeah, it's no problem using wildcard this early. It might pay off if you have a good team. What about Sigurdsson of Everton? I don't think Sigurdsson even started in the first game week. He was in the bench, I think, and he came off. For whom, I don't remember, but I think he was in the bench. But no, I don't think Sigurdsson is a... I think, is Sigurdsson the one that takes the penalty, the set pieces? He used to. I don't know if he does still, but I don't... Go for someone else, not Sigurdsson. Never settled a rider, not Sigurdsson. Not for now, at least. If you want that slot to be filled by an Everton player, go for Digne or Calvert-Lewin or James Rodriguez, not Sigurdsson. Should I wildcard? I have Havertz and Pulisic, that is bad. Then I have changed Ings to Martial. Havertz. So Pulisic won't play, so it's no reason to have him in your team. He won't play. Havertz will play. So as I said, you can't judge a player just by one game week. He might be one of the best players coming up. We don't know. It's just one game. So I don't think there's a problem with Havertz. So the thing is, they will be facing Liverpool. Still, Liverpool is kind of unstable defensively right now. And then I have changed Ings to Martial. I don't think that's a bad move because until I saw the first game week, my personal transfer move was to bring in Martial for Vardy. But after I looked the Spurs and Southampton performance, I felt like there are some other players that I need to get rid of other than Vardy because Vardy is that talismanic figure in that team. So I think there will be goals coming from Vardy. And after Man City, Vardy faces Aston Villa and West Ham United. So I see goals in that game. So if you want to see the Vardy's fixtures, so this is what it looks like. Although they face Burnley, I don't know. He might score against Burnley too because I think Burnley are playing the first game week. So fitness, I don't know what kind of fitness they have coming into the first game week. I mean, second game week for Burnley. So we'll have to see. And after Man City, you can see that they face West Ham and Aston Villa. So I think there's goals coming for Vardy after Man City game, after the third game week against West Ham and Aston Villa. That is one of the reasons I don't want to get rid of Vardy for now. So yeah. Wow, what was I talking about? Judah, super thanks a lot. You're welcome, Judah. Martial for Warner. What do you think, bro? Martial for Warner. So the thing about Chelsea players, the thing is after, let me see the fixtures, but after the Liverpool game, I think they have two good games coming up. West Brom, I think the way West Brom performed against Leicester, that was not convinced. I was not personally convinced with the way West Brom played, because I don't know, they were not good at all. And against Crystal Palace, now, as I've said this so many times, the four defenders that Crystal Palace started against Southampton, they were not the first defenders. All the first defenders of Crystal Palace are injured. The Van Aanholt in the right back, Ferguson, Sako, Cahill, all of them are injured. But still, they managed to pull out 1-0 win against Southampton team. So Guita was pretty good. So Guita was one of the reasons that happened, and they were all-out defense against Southampton. So that might continue against Man United. So I'm not sure. That is one of the reasons I did not go for Martial. Martial for Warner does not sound that bad. But as I said, after this game week, and although Chelsea faced Liverpool in this game week, Liverpool were not that good defensively. You can say I'm not impressed with how Van Dijk is playing the game. And Trent was not that impressive too. So yeah, in my opinion, Martial for Warner is not an end of the world, because I think that's not that bad of a move. If you want to do it, I think you should. It's not that bad of a move, because I think Martial, after Crystal Palace, also he has a pretty good game. So Martial for 9 million, you'll be saving 0.5. You might want to do it. Yes, Martial for Warner does not sound that bad, Tony. That is my opinion. But as I said, one of the reasons I don't have Martial in my team is because of that Crystal Palace all-out defense against Southampton. Okay, what's your IG? Honest FPL tips. Sturdy Ghost, Honest FPL tips. That's my Instagram. And in my description, you can see in the description there is Instagram account linked. Digne or Coleman, you will free up 1 million if you go for Coleman. Yes, but Digne takes set pieces. He takes the long free kicks. Calvert-Lewin scored in the free kick of Digne, and Digne also takes the left. Digne. He also takes the left corner. So Coleman is not that bad of an option. He's, I think, widely underrated. And now looking at how Everton team is shaping up, I don't think Coleman is that bad of an option. So if you personally ask me to go for Digne or Coleman, I have Digne in my team because of those set piece duties, and I think he is nailed. He won't be replaced by anyone. But if you are thinking of Coleman too, that is not bad of an option. But if you ask me, I would personally go for Digne, and I do have Digne in my team in Famous FPL. Will Barnes get points? Now I can't see future. I don't know if Barnes will get the points, and looking at that Leicester performance in the first game, I don't remember the name. Pryatt. I think Pryatt. I'm sorry, I don't exactly know his name, but I think he was one of the players I was looking at. He did play well. Vardy is, of course, a pretty good choice. I mean, it looks like if there is anyone who is going to do anything in that team, it looks like Vardy to me. So Maddison came off in the second half, and now Barnes. I don't know. He might keep the points against Burnley. The thing about the Leicester and Burnley game is I don't know how Burnley is going to play, because they might be too good for Leicester, because Leicester were not that bad. But like last time, Leicester played bad, but West Brom even played worse. So that might happen again. Burnley might play even worse than Leicester. So we'll have to see how that works out. I will have to see how Pope will perform. So I'm not certain about that bad man, because I don't know if Barnes will return point. If I was that certain, I think I would have Barnes in my team. But particularly for this game week, I don't think it's a bad option. The thing is, I don't know how Burnley will perform. That is my main problem with the Burnley and Leicester game. So yeah, that is my opinion on Barnes, bad man. And Chemo says, I have got triple Southampton too. I'm a bit worried. How about you? Yes. This is the main problem in my team right now. I have 3 Spurs players. I have 3 Southampton players, and I have 2 Spurs players, and they face each other. So there was the thing in the first game week too. I have two Southampton. I mean, I have two Everton player, and I had two Spurs players, and they face each other. And it was Digne and Calvert-Lewin that saved my first game week. So I'm worried about that too. This was one of the most frequently asked question: what to do with the Southampton and Spurs players. So I'm personally waiting for one more game week to see which players are the one that I need to get rid of, because I'm not sure, because it was just one game, and I'm not sure if I should judge my players in just looking at that one game, because we do know that Spurs are a quality team. Mourinho is a quality manager, and and looking at the preseasons and how Ings ended his season last time, he's still a good pick, but it's still just one game. So I will wait one more game to see how Spurs and Southampton players will perform. If they don't do good, they're out of my team. There's no doubt they will be out. Two of the players I think will be out of my team are Doherty and Ings. So we'll have to see how they perform in this game week. And yeah, that is it, Kimo. I'm worried too, but I can only transfer out one player. I can't have everyone. So that is how it works. I'm too worried about the Southampton and Spurs players, so we'll have to see how that works. Oba or Bruno, captain? Oba. Okay, Oba is a safe choice, I think. West Ham were not that good, and Aubameyang did score last time. And if you have looked at the West Ham's fixes in upcoming game weeks, they're not good at all. They will be playing under pressure. And Aubameyang is that talismanic figure. And only, as I said, the only problem I had with Aubameyang in the first game was he was playing too wide for my likes. So yeah, for me, it's Aubameyang. And Bruno does not sound that bad. But the thing is, they are playing the first game, and I'm pretty sure fitness will play some part in coming game week for the Manchester United, because they have not played their first game week. So yeah, I think that will be one. That is one of the reasons I don't have Man United player. I want to see how Man United will play. So in my opinion, Ahmed, Aubameyang is a safer pick, and Reece James or Bellerin or Shaw. Okay, for this game week, I think Bellerin. Only for this game week. I had Bellerin in my before the first game week started. I was tinkering with my team so much. I also had Bellerin in my team, but Bellerin looked like it was the transfer that would happen after the second game week. Because I'm pretty sure I'm not playing Bellerin against Liverpool. I'm pretty sure Arsenal will concede at least one. So if for this game week, I think Bellerin. If for a longer term, I think Reece James is not that bad, because after the match against this game week against Liverpool, I think I will be bringing in Reece James in my defense in place of maybe Justin or even Trent if Trent does not perform, or even Doherty. So that is one of the perks of having premium defenders. So yeah, for this game week, Bellerin, and for longer term, I think Reece James. Shaw is not that bad of an option too. But yeah, for this game week, Bellerin is an easy choice. And Reece James for a longer term after this game week. After the game against Liverpool, if he is nailed on. So Sturdy Ghost, my Guita, my GK Guita, Trent, Bellerin, Soyuncu. What is the price of Soyuncu? 5 million, I'll have to see. Soyuncu is 5.5. Do I want to spend 5.5 on Soyuncu? Why not go for Costanza? He's also 5.5. He gets in the box more often. He's nailed on. I'm pretty sure Costanza won't be going anywhere even after Pereira returns. So why not Costanza for that 5.5? Or even maybe Wolves defenders. Maybe Wan-Bissaka for that 5.5. So yeah, I think you might want to get rid of Soyuncu, sturdy Ghost. I'm not pretty convinced. Eiling, I don't have problem with Eiling, although they have difficult fixtures. Looking at that first game, I think anyone can score from that Leeds team. Anyone can assist anyone. They play as a team. There's no talismanic figure, I think. They remind me of the Germany team because they play as a team. So I think there's no problem with Eiling or Dallas. Go with anyone. Does not matter. And in midfield, Allen and Son and Salah, no problem with that. Aubameyang, and Vardy and Calvert-Lewin. So I'll have to look for Allen's price. Allen is 5.5. Now, Sturdy Ghost, my suggestion is for that 5.5 price, the good players are right now Podence and Neto. After this game week, you want to look at the fixtures of the Wolves team. So I think the two players I'm not happy with in your team are Allen and Soyuncu. Transfer out Soyuncu for Costanza if you are willing to pay 5.5. Don't go for Soyuncu, go for Costanza or maybe some other winger. For that price, I think there are other value defenders. And another player is Allen. You might want to look at some other picks, maybe even Maximin, but I don't think Maximin. No, go for Neto or Podence, I think, for Allen. But Allen does not look that bad of a choice. But I still want to see some more from Allen. So Sturdy Ghost, yeah, that is it. I don't think this is a bad team at all. Allen and Soyuncu are the two players you might want to look at. So, infamous Wilson as a budget CF, yes, why not? He has played in Premier League. He did score in the first game week, only 6.5. And looking at the new signings of that team, Jamal Lewis was pretty good too. So, yeah, why not? Yes, infamous FPL, yes. Wilson too. Bad man. West Ham played trash. Yes, that is one of the reason. I think Aubameyang looks like a safe pick because they're playing at home. He did play very good. And why not? I think, yep, he's a good choice. West Ham is playing so bad, so that is one of the reasons Aubameyang looks like a safe pick. Gannon, please subscribe if you're watching this. I need, I think, 13 more subscribers to get 1.3k. So yeah, if you're watching this, please subscribe. And Gannon, remove the message. Okay, Sturdy Ghost. Okay, thanks. Okay, so I don't think there's much I need to talk about. Are there any questions? If there, please shoot. This will be pretty much it about my team. And after this game week, I'm pretty sure I have to make the transfers. I'll have 2 of the transfers in upcoming game week. And as I said, my plan is to bring in Wolves players. I need Wolves players in my team. As I said, the fixtures are so good. I can't ignore these fixtures. I don't want to ignore these fixtures. At least one or maybe more than one Wolves players. I need Wolves players in my team. I already have two Everton players. Everton players are also the players you might want to look at. So if you are making a wildcard team, please look at the Wolves and Everton assets. They are very cheap for what they might return, and the fixtures are also very good. So yeah, please look at the Everton and Wolves player if you are thinking of the wildcard or even just transfers. So hello and good morning. Taylor or Lewis looks like a better choice. So looking at the very first game week, I think Lewis was not that bad, and the team that Newcastle have built now, I think that's Lewis does not look like a bad choice for me. Now, as I have talked about the Burnley's coming in the game without playing a single game, so we'll have to see how they will perform. We'll have to see will Pope be the same Pope that he was last season. And there was one of the wildcard team that I saw that was sent to me, and it had Lewis. So this game week does not look bad for Newcastle in my opinion. But after that, they faced Tottenham, Burnley, Man United, Wolves. My God. So yeah. So looking for this game week, I don't think Lewis is that bad of a choice. But looking at the longer term option, Taylor does not look that bad of a choice either. So my only problem with Burnley right now is they have not played any of the games. So I want to see how fitness plays part. So we did see how Spurs and Southampton did not perform well, although they had good preseason. They won all the games in their preseason. I was following their preseason, and Southampton even scored 7 in one of their preseason against Swansea. So that was one of the reasons I have 3 Southampton players in my team. And they lose to Crystal Palace side, who did not have even one first starting defender. So yeah, that is one of the reasons I'd want to wait on Burnley, but we do know Burnley can be good defensive side. So yeah, for this game week, I'd go for Lewis. For longer term, Taylor. Albas 89. So yeah, that is my opinion. What Wolves players are you going for. So I had a video completely dedicated to only Wolves and Everton players. So my choice right now is an obvious choice is Jimenez because he takes penalties. He's a center forward. He's nailed on. They don't play any European games this season. Wolves, they don't play any European games. So why not? They will only be playing Premier League game. So I do think Wolves are the players. So the players that I will personally go for is Jimenez. Jimenez looks like he needs to be in my team. Other cheaper option is Neto and Podence. So I'd want to see how nailed on they are because in that one of the player that I had in my mind since the beginning of this season was that 6.5 Traore. Traore and Man City's Foden. Those two players look like I will have them in my team at one point of the season. But I did not like where Traore played last game. He was playing in Doherty's place, but he looked more of a defensive than attacker, and we'll have to see how that develops. But for now, looking at that Wolves team, maybe that new left back, Marshall, yeah, that's how you pronounce, I guess. Marshall, he might be even a good choice for that 5 million. 5 million for a wing, like a fullback, is not that bad of an option if he's nailed on. So we'll have to see if Marshall is nailed on or not. So the Wolves players, I personally think, are Jimenez, Podence, Neto, and maybe a defender. For now, not Traore. If he still continues to play in that position where he did in the first game week, Jimenez looks like an easy pick because of his penalty duties. Gannon. Those are the Wolves players I'm looking for. And I will at least bring one player after the second game week. So Sagar Adhikari says, I'm wildcarding next game week. Should I go for Salah to Fernandes this week or Warner? Salah to Fernandes this week or Warner to Martial? Salah to Fernandes. I'm wildcarding next week. So should I go for Salah or Fernandes this week? It's never a bad option to have players like Salah in your team. So as I said, they are the big players. They will score against anyone. They can score against anyone. If you are wildcarding, so you are looking only for this week. So maybe bring in Martial, I guess. Yep, Martial for Warner, I think. That's my personal opinion. Although Liverpool are not this week. Yeah, only looking at this game week, I feel like it will be just my wild prediction. I think it will be a 2-2 draw it's just my prediction. 2-2 draw for Chelsea and Liverpool. I think they both are very attacking sides and they both are not super good defensively. Liverpool are not good defensively at all. The Van Dijk needs to sort out what is going on with his life. I don't know, but he's the reason he's the one who should be commanding and maintaining that back line. He's not doing that. And Kepa, I don't know what he smokes before the game because he's always making mistakes and conceding. So defensively, in my opinion, I think do Warner for Martial. For that 9 million price, you'll be saving money. I can't suggest you to get rid of Salah because, as I said, he can score against anyone. And bringing in Fernandes against Palace is also not that bad. But I don't want to recommend you to get rid of Salah because, I mean, he can score against anyone. I regret not having Salah in the first game week. He scored a hat-trick and I did not have him in my team. So I can't recommend you to get rid of Salah. So yeah, Warner to Martial, Sagar, according to me. After all, it's your team. So for me personally, if I had to do, I think Warner to Martial is the one I would do. Richarlison or Calvert-Lewin. Okay, so I did talk about this earlier in my stream. One of the players that it super overlooked is Richarlison. No one is paying attention to Richarlison. If you look at the first game against Spurs, he was getting so many chances and no one is batting an eye on him. He was connecting super good with James Rodriguez. So, and if I did not have Calvert-Lewin, I might have gone with Richarlison. But since I already have Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison does not seem like that bad of a choice. Calvert-Lewin or Richarlison? Go for Calvert-Lewin, I guess, because he plays in the center, and I think he is nailed on. He won't be replaced. He's cheaper. Calvert-Lewin. Go for Calvert-Lewin, Kaif. Go for Calvert-Lewin. You will save money. He's nailed on. He's playing as a center forward. Yep. Go for Calvert-Lewin, I think. Thanks a lot for detailed insight. You're welcome, Albas. Please subscribe if you're looking this. I only need 13 more subscribers to get to 1.3k. So please subscribe if you're watching this. And who should I swap out for Pulisic? 8.5. Who is there for that 8.5? Let me look at the... Is there anyone that I want to bring in for that price range? For this game week, particularly only this game week, Willian does not look that bad for only this game week though. But after that, they do not have good game week at all. The Willian, Arsenal, they do not have good game week. Pulisic. Barnes, nope. I don't think Barnes. Zaha, maybe. Pulisic. Greenwood, maybe Greenwood. I think he will start. For that price range, there are no good players for that 8.5. Are there any good players for that range? James Rodriguez. What about James? Yeah, I think James Rodriguez. You should bring in James. Who is the one asking the question? Who should I? Ivan. Yeah. I think you should bring in James Rodriguez. I think that is a safer choice to bring in for Pulisic, because James was pretty good in the first game week. He has good fixtures coming up. I think yes, bring in James Rodriguez. That wouldn't be that bad of a choice. That is safer pick, in my opinion. I think you should bring in James Rodriguez. Will Ward get to have penalty? Ward takes penalty? I don't think so. Does he take penalties? I think it was McArthur that used to take penalty. I don't remember. Milivojevic. I can pronounce his name, but I think he was the one that used to take penalty. I don't think Ward is the one that takes penalty, is it? I'm not pretty aware about that, Mr. Best. I'm not aware about that. So, yeah. Ivan O'Shea. Who should I swap in for police? Yeah, go for Ames. If you don't have Ames in your team. Cheers. Okay. So, are we done with the questions? If there are still questions, please do shoot. If not, I think I'll be ending the stream. And please subscribe if you're watching this. And if there are no more questions, this will be my team. So I'll show you the team one last time. I think this will be the team for the second game week. So yeah, I think this will be my team for the second game week. And if you are looking for the differential captains, go for Calvert-Lewin, or even maybe Digna if you want to go super wild. I don't think Digna is that bad of a choice. West Brom did not impress me in their first game week at all against that Leicester side. So this is my Sushant Ring, Harvey Barnes or James Rodriguez for longer term. Longer term is still, I think, James Rodriguez. Harvey Barnes. Yep, James Rodriguez. If you can pay for James Rodriguez, looking at that first game week, I think Rodriguez looks like a nail-on creator, because it looks like anything that is created in that team will be created by him. That Dockeray, Allen, and James Rodriguez midfield looks so good in the first game week. I did not know Allen was so good with the ball, his ball controls, and I did not know that Dockeray was so good defensively too. So this is still early. It's just one game. I'm just giving you my opinions based on first game week. So looking at the first game week, James was very impressive. So yeah, Sushant Drigme, I think James Rodriguez is a safer pick. The fixtures are so good for Everton. Why wouldn't you go for James? Yep. For me, it's James Rodriguez. If personally I had to pick, I would pick James Rodriguez. Both of them are. Was he though? I don't think so. Leicester were not that good. If it wasn't for the penalty, I don't think they would have been the win. So I don't know. So we'll see that in the next game. Leicester, I'm not sure about that. They face Man City next game week. So yeah, Sushant, Yeah, for me personally, I think I would go for James Rodriguez. Okay, brother. Maybe after Man City game, you might want to bring in some Leicester assets. From that Leicester team, looking at the first game week, the one player I was impressed by was Costanza, but he's 5.5, but still he's a fullback, so I won't have problem if he continues a good form. Costanza was not that bad because he was getting in the he was getting in that box so often, and he even scored. And he was playing in the wrong position. According to Vardy interview, right back is not Costanza's natural position; it's left back. And what I was like surprised, he's not even playing in the right position, and he got a clean sheet. He scored. I mean, like if he starts playing in the left, I think there's much more coming from Costanza. You might want to wait. So yeah, Oliver Johansson, Son or Bruno, Son or Bruno. For this game week, maybe Bruno because of the penalties. If you ask me a player with penalty and not with penalty, I will definitely go for a player with a penalty because, as I said, it's always a player with penalty that has upper hand in the game. So, although Son was not that bad in the first game week, he was pretty good, but his teammates did not help him out. He was pretty good, Son, his performance. I did not have any problem with Son's performance, but they could not find an end product. That was the problem with the Spurs team in the first game week. So for this game week, looking at the team, I do see goals from both Spurs and Tottenham. I mean, Spurs and Southampton. They might score against each other, and one of them might be from Son. Son is not that bad pick. If you already have Son, please don't remove him. I think personally he does deserve another chance in that team. So I think Bruno is. I think I'd bring Bruno against Palace because, yeah, Bruno, do it, Bruno. Oliver, I think I personally would bring in Bruno, but if you already have Son, don't transfer him out. I think if he already has, I think he will be a good asset going into other game weeks because his fixtures are not that bad. Son's fixtures are not that bad at all. Not bad at all. It was just one bad performance, so we can't judge just by one performance. The problem with Man United players for me is the fitness. They're playing the first game. As I said, the fitness plays a huge role in the game. And Crystal Palace, if you look at the first game week, the defense they did, I was pretty scared to bring in any Man United players. If they do same, if they hold back all the 90 minutes, and if they are happy with the 0-0 draw, I mean, so yeah, that is one of the problem with Man United versus Crystal Palace for me. But Bruno does not look that bad of a choice to me. Yep, if you want that Man United coverage, Bruno and Martial are the picks you might want to go for. That's my personal opinion, Oliver. So, if Costanza or Justin? Costanza, of course. That's not even a debate. Costanza is nailed on. He scored. He had a clean sheet. Justin won't be playing after the fourth game week, in my opinion. Looking at that Pereira return, after Pereira returns, I think Pereira returns after fourth game week, after West Ham game. So Justin won't be playing after that. He's not nailed on, in my opinion. Costanza will move to left, and Pereira will be at the right. So Costanza is the one you should go for, in my opinion. He's a longer term option. That's what I'm saying. Naval Sitter Rider. Firmino will score tonight against Chelsea. What do you think about this? Yes. So according to the Liverpool fans, Firmino is the system. He might not be scoring a lot, but he is doing every small bit that we don't see in the game. I think he was kind of going through some goal scoring drought, but still, I think he's not that bad of an option. But his price is not good at all. So Firmino might score. We can say that. For the Liverpool are pretty attacking side. We can say that it won't happen. So yeah, we'll have to see how that works out. Firmino is a very important player in that Liverpool team, and there is no replacement for him. Maybe Brewster will be the one who will be sharing minutes with Firmino. I don't think Brewster is transferred out or something. I mean, not loaned or anything. I think he is in the plan of Liverpool, at least in the beginning. So that is one of the reasons Brewster is still in the Liverpool team. So yeah, Firmino might score. We're not sure. He's a pretty important player in that Liverpool side. We just don't see it, but he is. He is very important in that team. Took Warner out for Jesus. Thoughts? Not that bad. Not that bad. So if you compare the opponents, Warner faces Liverpool and City faces Wolves. So I feel like there's a bigger chance of Jesus scoring against Wolves than Warner scoring against Liverpool. But Liverpool defense is not that good either. So not that bad move, I think. Jesus might be a longer term option until Aguero returns. Let's see what happens. But yeah, Warner for Jesus, not a disastrous move. We do know how attacking that Man City team is. So yeah, Steven, I don't think that is bad option to go for. But after this game, Warner has pretty good fixtures after the Liverpool game. So you might want to look at that. And Wolves are pretty good defensive side too. So not that bad though. It might backfire, Steven. But Warner to Jesus does not sound like a bad option, Steven, according to me. Satim Karki, good looking team now. Let's see what will happen. Have to bench one. TAA, Egan, Reece James, Eiling. Oh God. TAA, this is pretty difficult. TAA, Egan, Reece James, Eiling. Eiling faces Fulham. So I do think there will be some return points for Eiling. TAA, we can't bench TAA. We can't bench 7.5 million defender. Although he did have bad game week in the first one, I don't think you would want to bench TAA. Egan has a good fixtures too. I think they face Aston Villa. Oh God, this is a tough one. TAA, Egan, what would I do if I had this? Reece James against Liverpool. God, this is a tough one. So I think Eiling and Egan has a pretty good fixture. So Egan, would you bench Egan? So looking at these, if I did not have these defenders, I think I would bench Egan because they conceded pretty quick goals against Wolves. They were not the same as they had Henderson, as when they had Henderson. So Rio, maybe Egan, maybe Reece James. This is tough. This is very tough. Maybe Egan or Reece James. Yep, maybe Egan or Reece James. So are you like the fixtures kind of guy or form kind of guy? If you look at the fixtures, you should play Egan. But if you look at the form, you should play Reece James. So what kind of person you are? There are two kind of managers in FPL. The one that look at forms and that one that look at the fixtures. So Rio, what kind of manager you are? So that is my opinion. So I think I helped you somewhat. So yep, that is what my opinion is. Should I start Kyle Walker? Kyle Walker Peters. Oh, okay. Kyle Walker Peters or Michel? If I had Michel, I think Michel. They might concede though. Kyle Walker Peters. Kyle Walker. Go for Kyle Walker. Yep, go for Kyle Walker. He will start. We don't know about Spurs. They can be anything. I mean, yep, go for Kyle Walker. Michel. Although Michel did not concede in the first game week, there might be penalties and all that stuff for Man United, and they are playing in Old Trafford. Although without the fans, I think it's still a Old Trafford. So yep, Salman. Yep. If it was me, I will start Kyle Walker. Yep, I'll feel much safer, I think. Although I think it will be difficult to break down that Palace defense. Looking at the performance in their first game week, it was difficult for the Southampton team. But Southampton midfield was all over the place. That was one of the reasons they could not produce as they should have. So we'll have to see how Man United play. But I think I would play Kyle Walker Peters. I think Sammy. So yeah, maybe Kyle Walker's. Egan, Kiki, Egan, thanks. Okay, Rio, you're welcome. Who is on penalty duty? I think yes. I think last season it was Sigurdsson that took penalties, but Sigurdsson was on the bench in this season's first game. He came off the bench, so I'm not pretty sure. James is there now. We'll have to see. Maybe Richarlison. I'm not sure. Okay, it was Sigurdsson last season. I'm pretty sure about that though. Yep, Kaif, I think it was Sigurdsson. Now I don't know if he'll start because he did not start in the first game week. We'll have to see how that works out. So yeah, please subscribe if you're watching. Need 13 more people to subscribe to get to 1.3k. Yes, please subscribe if you're watching. So, are there any questions? So, my plan getting into the other game now, upcoming game week, is that bringing in Wolves player. So, if you are looking for a longer term option, set and forget type of player, you might want to go for Wolves players too. Go for Wolves players. You can't ignore their fixtures. You don't want to ignore their fixtures. Wolves are a quality team and they're doing good business. I think they are looking for this might just be a rumor, but they are looking for a right back and they are looking for Semedo. And Semedo is being ready to be sold by Barcelona. Actually, I'm a Barcelona fan, so I know this. The team is very unstable right now in Spain, so Semedo might be. This is just a rumor though. This is not confirmed or anything. So yeah, that might happen. Wolves are still a quality team, so we'll have to say how Bale is coming too. Regulon is coming too. That might spice up the FPL team picking. So Sammy says thanks. You're welcome. Sagar Adhikari, bro, where are you from? I'm from Nepal, country of Everest. So, okay, yeah. If there are no questions, I'll be ending this stream. If there are, please. I'm not an expert though. I'll try and help. So yeah, I think I'll be ending my stream now. This is pretty much my team. And I hope you guys have a good game week. I hope I'll have a good game week too. I'm pretty worried about the Spurs and Southampton players. I have a lot of them, and I hope they perform well. So yeah, if there are no questions, please subscribe and like this video too. And I'll be coming out with more contents. I think it's okay 1.5 hour. I've been talking for 1.5 hour now. So okay, so thank you for joining in. Thank you for the support. I'll be coming up with new videos. So yeah, thank you.